She won't say, "I love you" first, but she'll reveal something far more dangerous. And if you miss it, you'll never realize she already chose you. Love, for a woman, is rarely loud in the beginning. It doesn't arrive with a clear announcement or a dramatic confession. It moves quietly. It builds beneath the surface. And when it starts to show itself, it doesn't come in the form most men expect. It comes as sharing, not casual sharing, not small talk, not surface-level stories she could tell anyone. It comes when she begins to open parts of her world that she normally protects. Listen carefully. A woman in love doesn't just spend time with you, she lets you see her, and that is where everything changes. Most men are trained to look for obvious signs: physical closeness, constant texting, big emotional expressions. But those are not the deepest indicators. Those can exist without love. Real love reveals itself in vulnerability. When she shares her thoughts without filtering them too much, when she tells you about her fears, her past experiences, the things that shaped her, she's not just talking, she's trusting. And trust is the foundation of emotional attachment. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. When a woman feels emotionally safe with you, her mind begins to lower its guard. She no longer feels the need to protect every detail. She allows herself to be seen, not as a perfect version of herself, but as a real one. That's not something she gives to everyone. That's earned. And when she starts giving it to you, it means something deeper has already begun. But here's the mistake most men make. They hear her, but they don't truly listen. They respond quickly. They try to fix things. They change the topic. Or worse, they don't recognize the weight of what she just shared. And in that moment, they miss the signal completely. Because when she opens up, she's not asking for solutions. She's asking for presence. She's asking, without saying it directly, "Can you handle the real me?" And your reaction decides everything. If you stay calm, if you listen without judgment, if you allow her to express without interruption, you strengthen that emotional bond instantly. But if you dismiss it, rush it, or make it about yourself, she closes back up just as quietly as she opened. Now understand this. Attraction can start with looks, energy, or curiosity, but love grows in emotional safety, and emotional safety is built through moments where she feels understood, not analyzed, not corrected, understood. So when she starts sharing deeper parts of her life, her struggles, her dreams, her insecurities, that's not random, that's intentional, even if she doesn't consciously realize it. It means she's allowing you into her inner world. And once you're there, you're no longer just an option. You're becoming someone she feels connected to, someone she thinks about when you're not around, someone she slowly starts building emotional attachment to. And if you're paying attention, you'll realize something powerful. She didn't tell you she's in love. She showed you, quietly. She won't hand you her heart in obvious ways. She hands it to you in pieces, disguised as conversations you might think are ordinary. And the deeper those conversations go, the closer she is to being emotionally attached to you. When a woman starts sharing her inner world, it doesn't happen all at once. It unfolds gradually. One story, one memory, one honest moment at a time. And each time she does it, she's testing something silently. She's asking herself, is this person safe enough for me to go deeper? This is where most men fail without realizing it. They treat her vulnerability like information, instead of a connection. They hear her past, but they don't feel it. They listen to her words, but they miss the emotion behind them. And because of that, they respond on the surface, logical, quick, detached, but she's not looking for logic in that moment. She's looking for emotional alignment. When she tells you about something personal, something that carries weight, it's not just about the story, it's about how you receive it. Do you stay present? Do you show that you understand without needing to control the conversation? Do you make her feel accepted without judgment? Because if you do, something shifts inside her. Her guard drops a little more, her trust deepens, and her emotional investment in you grows stronger. Here's the truth most people never talk about. A woman falls in love not just because of how you make her feel in good moments, but because of how safe she feels being real with you in vulnerable ones. That's the difference between attraction and attachment. Attraction is exciting. Attachment is grounding. And when she starts to feel both with you, that's when love begins to form. Now pay attention to this. When she shares her insecurities, whether it's about her past, her fears, or even small things she feels unsure about, she's doing something very intentional. She's revealing parts of herself that she doesn't show easily, and she's watching closely. Not your words, but your energy. If you react with discomfort, judgment, or indifference, she pulls back. But if you stay steady, calm, and accepting, you become a safe place for her emotions. And that's rare, very rare, because most people don't know how to handle vulnerability. They try to fix it, they try to avoid it, or they become overwhelmed by it. But the man who can sit in that moment, who can hold emotional space without needing to change it, becomes different in her eyes. He becomes someone she can rely on, someone she can trust, someone she can open up to again and again, and repetition is what builds emotional depth. The more she shares, and the more you handle it the right way, the stronger that connection becomes, until one day, without realizing it, she feels something she didn't plan. She starts thinking about you more. She feels comfortable around you in a way she doesn't with others. She begins to associate you with emotional safety and understanding, and that's when things change. Because once a woman connects you to those feelings, she doesn't just see you as another person in her life. She sees you as someone who matters, someone who understands her, someone she feels close to, even in silence. And that closeness, that's not casual. That's emotional attachment forming right in front of you, quietly, deeply, without needing to be announced. There comes a moment when her sharing changes, and if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it completely. At first, she tells you stories. Then she starts telling you how those stories made her feel. And finally, she starts telling you things she hasn't fully told herself. That's the moment everything shifts. Because now, it's no longer about conversation. It's about emotional exposure. When a woman reaches this level with you, she's no longer just opening up, she's letting you witness parts of her identity that she usually keeps hidden. Her doubts, her contradictions, her unspoken fears, the things that don't always make sense, even to her. And that level of openness is not casual. It's intimate in a way most people never experience. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. Her mind has started to associate you with emotional relief. You become the place where she can release thoughts she holds in everywhere else, where she doesn't have to pretend, filter, or maintain an image. And that kind of emotional freedom is powerful, because people don't fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with where they feel most understood. Now think about this carefully. Out of everyone she interacts with, she chose you to share that side of herself. Not because you asked, not because you pushed, but because something about your presence made her feel safe enough to go there. That's not coincidence, that's emotional selection. And once that selection happens, her behavior begins to change in subtle ways. She becomes more attentive. She listens to you more closely. She remembers small details you mentioned in passing. She checks in on you, not out of obligation, but because she genuinely cares. But here's the deeper layer most men never recognize. She starts to include you in her internal decisions. Even when you're not physically there, she wonders what you would think, how you would react, whether you would understand. And when someone reaches that point, they're no longer just interacting with you in reality. They're carrying you in their mind. That's emotional attachment at its strongest early stage, and it's fragile. Not weak, but sensitive. Because the more she opens up, the more she risks, and if at any point she feels misunderstood, judged, or emotionally unsafe, she doesn't confront it loudly. She withdraws quietly. She stops sharing as deeply. She pulls back just enough to protect herself. And most men don't even notice it happening. They think everything is fine until the connection fades. That's why awareness matters. Because when she shares deeply, your role is not to impress her, it's to hold that space, to be consistent, to be grounded, to respond with understanding, not reaction. Because every time you do that, you reinforce something powerful in her mind. You can trust him. And trust is what allows love to grow without resistance. So when she shares things that feel personal, emotional, even confusing, don't rush past them. Don't minimize them. Don't try to turn them into something else. Sit with them. Understand them. Respect them. Because in those moments, she's not just talking to you, she's showing you exactly how she feels, without ever saying the words. And if you recognize it, you'll realize something most men never do. She's not just opening up, she's already emotionally invested, deeply. And here's the part that changes everything. The moment she starts sharing not just her past or her feelings, but her future. Not in obvious ways, not by saying, "I see a future with you," but in the small, almost invisible shifts in how she talks. She begins to include you in her thoughts about what's ahead. She says things like, "We should go there someday," or "You'd like this place," or "I can imagine you doing this." It sounds casual, light, almost unimportant, but it's not. Because when a woman starts placing you in her future, even in subtle ways, it means you've moved from being temporary to being considered permanent in her mind. And that only happens when emotional attachment has already taken root. Here's what most men misunderstand. Love isn't proven by intensity. It's proven by consistency, by emotional presence over time, by how safe, understood, and connected she feels when she's with you, and even when she's not. So when she starts sharing her future thoughts with you woven into them, it's not just imagination, it's emotional projection. Her mind is exploring what life feels like with you in it. And if those thoughts feel good to her, if they feel natural, that's when attachment deepens into something stronger, something stable, something real. But here's where you need to be careful, because once she reaches this stage, she becomes even more sensitive to your energy. Not because she's insecure, but because she's invested. She notices when your tone changes, when your attention shifts, when your consistency drops. And those small changes can create doubt where there was once certainty. That's why emotional steadiness becomes everything. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to say all the right things, but you do need to be consistent in how you show up. Because consistency builds trust, and trust sustains love. Now understand this clearly. Attraction can bring her close. Vulnerability can open her up. But consistency is what keeps her there. And when all three align, that's when a woman doesn't just feel something temporary. She feels something lasting. That's when she stops questioning, stops analyzing, stops holding back. Because now being with you feels natural, effortless, right? And that's the point most men are trying to reach, without realizing how they get there. Not through chasing, not through forcing moments, but through creating an emotional experience where she feels safe, understood, and connected over time. So when she shares her past, her fears, her thoughts, her inner world, and finally her future with you quietly included, don't overlook it. Don't underestimate it. Because she's already told you everything you needed to know, not with words, but with trust. And trust, when given fully, is the clearest sign of love. So let me ask you something that matters more than anything you've heard so far. Have you been paying attention to what she's truly sharing with you? Or have you been waiting for words she may never say? Write your answer in the comments. And if this opened your eyes to what real emotional connection looks like the video, subscribe for deeper psychological insights, and share this with someone who needs to understand what love actually looks like when it's real.